Here's the thing. Too often we chase what we think we are supposed to want: success, recognition, the perfect image of a life that looks amazing on the outside but feels empty on the inside.
Welcome to At What Point, the podcast where we dive into the real, raw, and rewarding journey of personal and professional growth. I'm Catherine, your host, here to guide you through mindset shifts, powerful aha moments, and the resilience it takes to thrive no matter what life throws your way. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, taking the leap into entrepreneurship, or just looking for that boost of motivation, you are in the right place. Let's dive in.
We are at the beginning of a new year, and you can feel the energy everywhere. People are setting goals, creating vision boards, and chasing after that new year adrenaline rush. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Years ago, I was right there too, caught in the cycle of more goals, more hustle, more commitments. It felt productive, at least on the surface, but underneath, it was exhausting. I was like a hamster on a wheel, running as fast as I could, but never really getting anywhere meaningful. The truth is, I didn't even pause long enough to ask myself, do these goals align with the life I want? Or am I just following what everyone else is doing? And that's where I see so many people stuck, caught up in the momentum of doing without really questioning why. It's a pattern that feels productive, but leave you burned out and unfulfilled. But here's the shift that changed everything for me. Starting the year with peace and clarity instead of rushing towards more is not only okay, it's key. Think about it. Slowing down doesn't mean you are falling behind. It means you are giving yourself the time to make intentional choices to align your actions with what truly matters to you. And let's be honest, we are all juggling so much: building businesses, climbing corporate ladders, raising families, maintaining relationships. Life is already full. So, why add to the chaos by chasing things that might not even bring you joy? When we buy into the idea that more is always better, we lose sight of the present. The year becomes a blur of stress and busyness, and before we know it, it's December again. We look back and wonder, where did the time go? But what if instead of rushing, we pause and ask ourselves, what do I truly need this year? So let me ask you this. What do you really need right now? Not what society tells you, not what Instagram influencers preach, but what you deep down truly need to feel fulfilled. Is it peace? Quiet? More than just a single day off to catch your breath? Maybe it's reconnecting with your family, not just through quick phone calls or rush dinners, but by creating moments that matter. Perhaps it's finding the courage to finally slow down and savor life's little joys, like a quiet cup of coffee, a walk outside, or simply sitting still with your thoughts. Here's the thing. Too often we chase what we think we are supposed to want: success, recognition, the perfect image of a life that looks amazing on the outside but feels empty on the inside. We forget to check in with ourselves, to pause and ask, what will truly make me feel whole? Maybe it's not about achieving another milestone or adding something new to your plate. Maybe it's about letting go of what doesn't serve you and focusing on what brings you peace, joy, and connection. Take a moment to reflect. What would your life look like if you gave yourself permission to stop chasing and start embracing? What if instead of filling your calendar with tasks, you fill it with purpose? These are the questions that can reshape your year, not by adding more, but by helping you uncover what truly matters. And once you have that clarity, believe me, Every step you take becomes intentional. Every goal you set feels aligned, and every moment becomes a little more meaningful. I will share something personal. The last time I visited my family in Colombia, I went back to the vacation house in the mountains where I spent so much of my childhood. It was like stepping into a forgotten world, a world where life moved slower, where moments linger, and where joy wasn't tied to productivity or achievements. After nearly 30 years of living in the United States, I have forgotten how much joy I used to find in the simple things: the smell of fresh grass after a morning dew, the mist rolling over the mountains like a soft, comforting blanket, and the warm smell of a neighbor waving as they walk by. Those details that once felt ordinary suddenly felt extraordinary. That trip was a wake up call. It reminded me of how much I had taken for granted growing up: the quiet moments, the unspoken connections, and the freedom to just be. It also reminded me of how easy it is to lose sight of those simple joys when we are caught up in the chase for success. In the mountains, there were no deadlines, no notifications, no pressure to achieve, just the rhythm of life, steady and grounding, offering a sense of peace that's often missing in the hustle of our day to day lives. As I stood there, taking in the crisp air and the beauty around me, I realized how much of that simplicity I had let slip away. How often do we overlook the small joys in our pursuit of more? We think the next achievement, the next goal, the next milestone will bring us happiness. But maybe happiness has been right here all along, in the moments we have been too busy to notice. That trip taught me that things we think are small are often the things that truly nourish our souls. And if we can reconnect with those joys, we might just find the balance and fulfillment we have been chasing all along. When we are building a business or climbing the corporate ladder, balance often feels like chasing an illusion. We hear so much about achieving balance, but what does that really mean? Is it scheduling a spa day every 6 months or grabbing a quick lunch with a friend once a year? Let's be honest, those things are not balanced. They are pit stops that barely scratch the surface of what it means to truly feel whole and grounded. They often become just another box to check on an already overwhelming to do list, leaving us more drained than fulfilled. And here's what I want to challenge you as you step into this year with intention. Your time on earth is not infinite. This is not just about the number of days you have. It's about how you spend them and who you spend them with. That clock is ticking not just for you, but for everyone around you. So why waste precious time trying to chase people who don't want to change? Whether it's your partner, your kids, your friends, or your coworkers, they are who they are. You cannot rewrite their stories, but you can decide how their stories impact yours. You have a choice. Or you accept people as they are with their quirks, their flaws, and their own journeys, or you recognize when a relationship no longer serves you and you take the courage to move on. Let me tell you, this isn't easy. Letting go of unmet expectations is some of the hardest work you will ever do. But when you stop carrying the emotional weight of trying to fix or mold others into what you want them to be, you will find a freedom you didn't know was possible. It's a freedom that allows you to focus on what truly matters: building the life you want, not the one you have been told to settle for. And here is something else: don't just age with grace, age with audacity. Live fearlessly. Go after the things that make your heart race and your soul light up. Start that business you have been dreaming about. Take the trip that have been sitting on your vision boards for years. Or maybe it's as simple and as profound as learning to savor life's little moments. Life is not about playing it safe. It's about creating a story worth telling. A story that when you look back years from now, you will be proud to call your own. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Life doesn't wait, but that doesn't mean you have to sprint through it. Take a moment, breathe, look around and ask yourself, am I chasing things that truly matter? Or am I caught up in the rush because it's what I have been told to do? So, at what point will you stop letting the noise of the world dictate your happiness? At what point will you recognize that the ticking clock is not just a reminder of what's passing, but an invitation to cherish what's here right now? Friend, life is too short and precious to spend it chasing illusions that leave you feeling empty. So here's my challenge for you as we start this year. Break free from the cycle of more. Don't just set goals, set intentions that resonate deeply with your heart. Prioritize the things that truly bring you joy, fulfillment, and peace, whether that's nurturing relationships, enjoying little moments, or taking bold steps towards your dreams. Because when you slow down and focus on what genuinely matters, that's when life truly begins to change. You don't have to have it all figured out. None of us do. But you do have the power to make this year a turning point, a year of purpose, clarity, and intentional living. Let's make it count together. You got this, and I can't wait to see what you will create.
Thanks for joining another episode of At What Point. I hope today's conversation sparks some inspiration for your journey of growth and transformation. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to visit katherinebeltran.com/podcast for show notes, special discounts on coaching packages, and freebies to help you keep moving forward. And last but not least, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a show. See you next time.